This is a very, very deep topic that I just want to address right now. What to do? What do you do when your marriage is dead in the water, but you can't let go? You still want it to work, but you can clearly see that this marriage is dead, and who am I kidding? This marriage is not coming back. What do you do? So you have talked to your partner, and you guys have agreed that your marriage in its current state is dead. There is nothing that can resuscitate it. It's dead in the water. But for some reason, you cannot walk away. What do you do? Now, most people then settle into an arrangement. Some of them get to the point where they even start to hate each other. But for the sake of assets and that have been accumulated, they just stay together and they can't let go. Obviously, that is not an ideal situation, but I think a lot of marriages are like that. They become marriages of convenience, right? But what does the Bible say about this? Let's say you're a Christian. Even if you're not a Christian, is there something that you can do when your marriage is dead, but both of you are not ready to let go, or at least one of you is not ready to let go? They still feel like there should be something. You just don't know what it is that you can do. Okay. I'm going to challenge you with a very, very surprising approach to this. Okay. Now, in John chapter 12, verse 24, I'm going to read here. It says that, most assuredly I say to you, unless a grain of wheat falls into the ground and dies, it remains alone. But if it dies, it produces much grain. Short form, if the marriage has died, and you can see that in its current form, it is not going to work. Let me tell you what you can do in that situation. Do this first. Let it die. And you must bury it. You must bury it. Because even if it doesn't die, guess what? It already died, right? So it is very difficult to let go. But you have to let go of that marriage and actually allow it to die. I'm not saying that you let go of your partner. Now, that's a different story. I didn't say that. I said let go of the marriage itself. A marriage that has been very, very toxic, where there's been a lot of toxicity, there's not been support, it's been very selfish. People have been very unkind to each other. Maybe there's been a lot of unfaithfulness there, unkind words spoken, and so on. Sometimes you cannot rescue it. Let us face facts. You cannot rescue it because too much has gone wrong. But at the same time, you don't want to let go of your partner. So what you need to let go of is the marriage, and then try to find a way to keep your partner. So when you let go of the marriage, what are you letting go of? You are letting go of toxicity. You are letting go of unfaithfulness. You are letting go of stinginess, unkindness. You are letting go of physical violence. You are letting go of abuse of every kind. You are just letting go of the marriage because it has become untenable. So you have to take that marriage, if I may use this analogy, think of it as a boat. Your marriage is like a boat. So you and your partner can take that marriage and say together we are going to ship it off. We're going to let it go. All right? So that we can deal together afresh. Now, it is so important to do this because from what I have seen, many times people cannot make any progress in terms of trying to resolve issues in their relationship because there are so many things that have been done. So this becomes a mental block. It becomes an emotional block. It becomes a block to any kind of progress because they keep on going and into their marriage and rehashing the things that have gone wrong in that marriage. So it becomes so clear that this marriage itself has become the stumbling block to itself or to the relationship. But if you can get them to see that, okay, guys, there's no way we can take the things back that have already happened. We have to let it go. There doesn't have to be a lot of, justifications and explanation, everything. The justification and explanation that you need at that time is to say, you know what, this marriage has failed. The way we were doing things, maybe we were young when we got married. Maybe we were not ready. Maybe there was a lot of brokenness. So now we have an opportunity to let this go and say, with all that we know now, can we now start over using the lessons that we know, the things that we have learned over time? Can we take the good aspects? Can we preserve the good aspects of this marriage? Can we preserve the kids? Can we preserve the assets? Can we preserve the things, the positive things we've come to know about each other, and use those to build a new marriage? Now, I don't mean that you have to go and divorce in court and all of those things, but I do mean that you could come before the Lord and pray and say, Lord, we are letting go of this marriage. And the reason we are letting go of it is because it has become untenable. But we are harvesting from it the positive aspects, the fruit that came out of it. And now we are going to use this to build a new relationship and a new marriage. Unless a grain of wheat falls to the ground and dies, it remains alone. But if it dies and is buried, it can then germinate and produce new fruit. So your end may be even better than the beginning. So let the marriage go, let it die in its. If you cannot work things out and it is dead in the water, let it die, let it be buried. Let it make way for a new marriage that is based on what you guys have learned. But for this new marriage to work, both of you have to be very determined to say, we are going to make it work, and the toxicity and the attributes and the characteristics of the former marriage that you were experiencing cannot make it. If one of you still thinks that they can take those things into the marriage, then obviously you're wasting your time. It is a matter of time before you find yourself right where you were. What you need to do is both of you need to agree to say, this is a new leaf for us. This is now chapter 2 of our relationship. Chapter 1 failed and we closed it, but let's now open chapter 2 and let us be very determined, all right? And then whatever you need to do, whether you need to now look for counselors, whether you need to really spend more time and really open up and talk about what you would like to say. Remember, now you've got the benefit of knowledge that you didn't have. So you can choose to choose each other afresh. But this time you have to do things the right way. And the key to that is open and honest communication and commitment. Okay. When you do that, the most destructive thing you can do is to go back when something's not going on well. Bring back the dead corpse and then throw it right before you and say, you did this, you did this, you did this. Now you have got a serious problem because the corpse is smelling. You can never, under any circumstances, bring back the corpse and use it to cut down somebody, to accuse somebody, right? If you have chosen to bury the corpse, the marriage, to let it go, you can draw lessons and say, what I learned from the previous marriage is that it is really important for us to be faithful to each other. That's acceptable. But to say, you cheated and you did this and you did this and now here we are and now we can, and then it becomes a whole issue. Guess what? That means that the grain has not been dead and buried. So I submit to you that before you walk away from each other, why don't you try this thing one more time? Why don't you bury and agree? Because most people keep on fighting and saying, someone is saying, no, it is dead. Someone says it's not. What if you agree and let it go, but you don't let go of each other? You say, let's let go of the negative aspects and let us give ourselves an opportunity to now build afresh. And then you have to be very committed, and it will require a lot of grace. It will require tremendous forgiveness. It will require a lot of commitment. If it works, guess what? You've preserved your kids, right? In terms of they can grow together with their parents. You've preserved your assets. You've preserved your networks. You've preserved your friendships. And more importantly, you've preserved each other. And that makes God happy as well. God is pleased with that. So this is the first in my series in terms of, called Building Great Marriages. I'm just thinking about, or let me just call it the relationship series. Yes, the relationship series. Let me know what you think about it. Share your thoughts, leave your questions, and in my next video I will discuss that with you. God bless you and all the best as you fix your marriage.